Hello everyone. Now the next chapter is chapter number 10, Introduction to MS Excel. So very first topic over here is what is Excel. Excel is an electronic spreadsheet. Electronic spreadsheet store information in computer memory, calculates and display the result. In easy way you can understand, the electronic spreadsheet is a program in which we enter the values in rows and columns and we can perform different type of calculation. Data files created with Excel are called workbook. Means the file in Excel is known as workbook. In the same way as a file in MS Word is known as document. So Excel file is known as workbook. The next is starting MS Excel. If this Excel icon is given on the desktop, is presented on the desktop, then simple by double clicking on it you can open MS Excel. The second method is click on the start button, then go to all programs, Microsoft Office, then Microsoft Excel. So the same thing I will show you here now. First click on the start button, then go to all programs or all apps. After this we have to scroll it down to go to Microsoft Office. Once the Microsoft Office option appears, then click on it and then select the option Excel. Then Excel window will display on the screen as is going to open over here. As Excel window appears on the screen, then a window appear like this. This window contains many options here. Now I will explain you about these options. Like these are the basic components of the windows. Here the topmost bar is known as title bar. It contains the title of the program and currently open file. Now for example, as you can see it over here, it is written here book 1 in Excel. So book 1 is default file name. But when you save a file, because the file is not saved yet, therefore book 1 is displayed over here. But as you save the file, then it will show you that particular name. For example, you have saved your file by giving the name class 9th. So at the place of book 1, class 9th will be written there. Along with it, Excel is also written. Means this is a Excel application window. Then we are having many more things here. Just after it, here towards the left side we are having quick access toolbar. These buttons are used for doing your work quickly. Like we are having save icon, undo button, redo button, and there are other buttons also which can be displayed. So this bar which is coming over here is known as quick access bar. This button which is given towards the very left corner is known as control menu. As we click on this button, then it will show the option to control the size of the window. Like you want to minimize, you want to maximize, restore, move or change the size. And even if you want to close it, then you can close it. After this, we are having file menu. File tab contains many options to work, like to create a new file, for saving a file, printing a file. Like all these options are presented over here in the file tab. After this portion which is coming over here where we are having many buttons is known as group. These group, as you click on the, like for example right now home tab is clicked, so this is the ribbon of the home tab. As we click on insert, then the other options will be displayed over here. On this ribbon that there are different groups. Like for example, this particular group is a clipboard group. Then second group, this particular group is for the font group. Then this particular group is for the alignment. In this way, on every tab we are having different groups. Now let's come to the next topic, that is basic concept and terminologies. The very first thing is cell. A cell is a rectangular box that occurs at the intersection of vertical column and a horizontal row in a worksheet. A cell can only store one piece of data at a time. So here, these small blocks which are coming, these are known as cell. These vertical things are known as columns and these horizontal things are known as rows. When a column and a row intersect each other, then a small block is formed, and then this block is known as cell. The next topic is rows. Rows and columns. Rows are horizontal across the worksheet and range from 1 to 1048576. A row is identified by the number it is on the left side of the row from where the row originates. Now here, as I told you earlier, so these are rows. The number of the first row is 1 in the same way, and this is the last row. Now these are columns. Column started with alphabet A, then it comes till Z. After Z it is started with AA. In this way, the last address of the column is XFD. So columns are vertical and rows are horizontal. The next is cell address. So when a column and row intersect each other, a small block is formed, and that is known as cell. Every cell is having an address that is a combination of the column letter and row number. Now for example, this particular cell. This particular cell is present in H column and third row. Therefore, the address of this cell is H3. First column number and then the row number. Now I'm just clicking it somewhere else. Now the address of this column, this cell is Q7. In this way, we address different cells, and these cell addresses are used for doing calculations. The next is worksheet and workbook. A worksheet or sheet is a single page in a file created with an electronic spreadsheet program such as Microsoft Excel or Google Sheet. A workbook is a name given to the Excel file and contains one or more worksheets. So here, this entire file is known as workbook, and this area, which is made up of rows and columns, is known as worksheet. By default, the old version was contained 3 worksheets, but the new one contains only 1 worksheet by default. That is the name sheet 1. But if you want to add more sheet, then just click on the plus button and then more sheet will display. Now I am having 2 sheets over here, sheet 1 and sheet 2. As you want to work on the sheet 1, just this thing is known as sheet tab, where the name of the sheet display. Active sheet display in bold. As you can see, this time the sheet 2 is active and now sheet 1 is active. Now the next topic is a ribbon. Title bar and ribbon, that I have already explained you. The topmost bar is called the title bar, which shows the name of the file and the name of the program. Towards the right side, it's having close, maximize, minimize button. Then towards the left hand side, we are having a quick access toolbar and the control menu box. The next is the ribbon. So as we click on any tab, then the particular ribbon get appear. Every ribbon is contain different groups which help us to do our work easily. Now the next topic which we are having is worksheet tab. So worksheet, by default, as I told you, there is only 1 worksheet, and then as if you want to add more worksheet, that worksheet can be added. This area where the name of the sheet and this plus sign is coming is known as worksheet tab. So here the name of the sheet display. So on worksheet tab, if you want to change the name of the sheet, that is very simple. Double click over here and then it will get selected, deleted, and type a new name. So this area where the name of the sheet displays known as worksheet tab. The next is group. Group I have already explained. Every tab contains different sections. These are known as group. Then the next is backstage view. Backstage view, like creating a file, opening a file, saving a file. For this purpose, file menu is given. Click at the file menu and all these options get appear on the screen, like new, open, save as, print, share, export, close. So that is the option presented in the file menu. In the old version, that it's known as the backstage, but here we call it as a file menu. The next is quick access toolbar. The toolbar which is given along with the title bar. Towards the left hand side, quick access toolbar. By default, save, redo and undo buttons are given, but if you want to add more buttons, other buttons, then click on the down-headed arrow and then you can select the option. then those particular button will display on the quick access toolbar. Quick access means so directly you can access. You don't have to click on any particular tab for getting those commands. Directly you can access from here. Therefore, the name is given as quick access toolbar. Now next is row header and column header and name box. So now row header. So every row is having a number. Now if you want to select any entire row, then just simply bring the cursor on it and click on it. So these are known as row header. This area where I'm clicking right now for selecting the rows is known as a row header. Every row header is displaying a name, number of particular row. In the same way, column header, these alphabets which are written over here, this area where the alphabets are written is known as row column header. So they tell us that in which particular column we are working right now. The next topic is name box. The name box is the area which is given towards the left side of the formula bar. Here we are having the formula bar. So this box where the cell address of the current cell appears or active cell appears. Now for example, I have clicked in the cell C4. So here C4 is written. So this area is known as name box. Name box display the address of the active cell. Now if this box is also used to move to a particular cell. Now for example, I want to move to Z26. So just simply write down the address, press the enter key, and then the cell pointer will move to Z26 cell. So in this way we can also move from one place to another place by using name box. The next is formula bar. Formula bar is the bar which is very important in MS Excel. This bar is not presented in any other program like MS Word or MS Excel or MS PowerPoint. It is presented only in MS Excel. Now for example, here I am writing serial number. So serial number, as you can see, whatever the text I am writing in the particular cell, that the same text will be displayed in the formula bar also. So formula bar is used for entering and correcting formulas. So as you press enter key, now it is entered in the worksheet. Now I'm in the next cell, that is cell B1, and now I want to write down name in the cell. So I'm just typing in the formula bar. So as I will type in the formula bar, the same information will also be entered in the cell. So values can be entered in the cell by using the formula bar. And if we have written any formula, that formula can be updated or can be changed by using the formula bar easily. Now the next one text topic which we are having is select all button. Because of some reason, sometime we want to select the entire worksheet. For this purpose, we use select all button. So this button which is given just above one and towards the left hand side is known as select all button. As we click over here, the entire worksheet will get selected. Or you can use keyboard shortcut also, that is control, hold on the control key and press the A button. That is control plus A. In this way also the entire worksheet will get selected. So you can use select all button for selecting the entire worksheet, or you can use keyboard shortcut control plus A. The next is status bar. The bottom bar is known as a status bar. This bar contains different buttons over here. Now here these are the view buttons, that is the normal view, page layout view, and page break view. And here we are having the zoom button. Zoom button is used for increasing or decreasing the zooming of the window. Right now it is 100%. As I will decrease it, then the size of the windows get reduced, as you can see. As we increase it, now I just want to again 100%. So just use this slider for increasing or decreasing the zooming. Then we are having horizontal scroll bar just above it, and this here it is showing us that either the Excel is ready for doing the work or not. So this is also contain many options. Now for example, some numbers are written over here, and we want to add these numbers. Yes. So now these numbers I have selected. Now it is showing you all these three sums automatically. That is, what is the sum of these two numbers, what is the average of these numbers, and in how many cells I have entered the value right now. So all these options automatically appears on the status bar. The next is dialog box launcher. Now in Excel we are having different group. For example, this is font group. means it contains some of the formatting for font, for text, but all the options cannot be seen over here. Because of this, in the font group towards the right bottom corner, there is a small arrow button is given. As we click on this arrow button, the font dialog box will appear on the screen. Now as you can see, actually the font dialog box is format cell, but font tab is displayed over here. So with the help of this, we can apply different types of the formatting. So this is the use of this launcher, that is dialog box launcher. The next topic we are having now is cell pointer. This is the bold rectangular that indicates your current position on the spreadsheet. On a spreadsheet, we are having many cells, and then you will notice that one of the cell is having a boundary around it. So that particular cell is active cell. Right now cell H7 is the active cell. So this cell pointer tells us that which cell is active cell. Active cell means as we type anything from the keyboard, the information will enter in that particular cell. The next we are having what do the different mouse pointer shape mean in Microsoft Excel. Now maybe you have not noticed that sometimes the Excel pointer shape is like this. Sometime when we are entering, now it is changed into I shape. When I am bringing the cursor on the column header, then it changes into black color arrow. In that way, the position of the cursor gets changed. Now what does it mean? Now for example, if it is coming in this shape, that is used for selecting cell. How? Now I will explain. Now you want to select some of the cells over here. Then just bring the cursor here, hold down the mouse button and then simply drag. Now this is used for selecting purpose. Now next one is this I type, the I beam, which is used for editing the content. Now for example, here 2 is written, I want to change the number, so I have like I want to make it 12, so it changes and now I can enter the information. The next topic over here is the next shape of this is plus sign, that is a fill handle. Fill handle is used for filling a series or copying some information. Now for example, I'm just writing hello over here. I want to copy the same text in some more cells. Then just bring the cursor on it. The cursor changes into black color plus sign. Then simply select and drag it. So that is the filling. It's working as a fill handle. The next is at borders of the column headings, drag to widen a column. In the same way, if you want to change, increase or decrease a column width, for this purpose just bring the cursor towards the boundary of the particular column, right side boundary of the particular column, hold on the mouse left button and drag outside or inside for increasing or decreasing the size of the column. Same way, if you want to change the height of a particular row, then you can change the height of the particular row simple by dragging it. After this, now we are having next topic, the next slide. The next is moving to the active cell. First is use a scroll bar to move to the active cell. Second, type the cell address in the name box and press the enter key. Now for example, you are working somewhere and now you want to move to the cell which is towards the last cell of the worksheet. So you can use a scroll bar. You can simply drag it, or you can use a keyboard shortcut also to going to the last cell. In that way you will reach to the last cell, or you can use a scroll bar for moving up and down. So with the help of the scroll bar also it can be moved, or you can take the help of the name box. Now for example, your active cell is D5 and you want to go to the cell E14. So just come to the name box, then type the cell address E14 and then press the enter key, and then directly your cell pointer will reach to the particular cell whatever you have written in the name box. The next topic which we are having now is navigational keys. Sometimes it happens that we want to move to any particular cell, but there is some problem in the mouse, or you don't want to use mouse at all, you want to use a keyboard shortcut. For that purpose we use some keys. Now I will explain you that how we have to use those keys. Now for this I'm just going to the blank sheet so easily you can understand. Now here I'm there in the very first cell of the worksheet. Now you want to move to one cell down, so down arrow key, one cell up, up arrow key, one cell right, right arrow key, one cell left, left arrow key. So if you want to move one cell at a time, you have to use these 4 arrow keys in all for all 4 direction. Now if you use these arrow keys along with the control key, then it will jump to the last cell of the particular column or last cell of the particular row. Now for example, right now you are there in the first cell of the column and you want to go to the last cell of this particular column, like column A. So last column will be in the down direction, so hold down the control key and press the down arrow key and you will reach to the last cell of the column A. You want to go to the first cell of the column A, control plus up arrow key. So you will reach the first cell of the particular column. Now you want to go to the last cell of this particular row, that is row 1. Then last row will be there at the right hand side. So hold down the control key and then press the right arrow button. Control key and plus right arrow key. So you will reach to the last cell of that particular row. Control plus left, first cell of that particular row. So along with the control key, if you are using arrow keys, then you can reach to the last cell if values are not entered. But if the values are entered, then it will reach to the last entry of the particular column or particular row. After this, that moving one screen down means right now you can see the rows from 1 to 22. Now you want to see the other rows, so simply press the page down button on the keyboard. Okay, that way. And alt plus, if you're using it with alt plus page down, here you can see till you are able to see, then it will showing you the others remaining one. That is now from it's coming till BH, then from BI, and control plus page up, one screen left. Again I will explain you. Control alt plus page down, one screen right, alt plus page up, one screen left. Okay, in this way, same way, if you want to scroll one page down, like it is showing you from 1 to 22, you want to see from 23 onwards, so page down. Now it is coming till 44, then page down, so it is coming from page row number 45. In the same way, you want to scroll one screen up, then page up button you have to scroll. Now right now we are working on sheet number 1. We want to go on sheet number 2. For this also we are having keyboard shortcut. This time we have to use page up and page down button along with the control key. Control plus page down, next worksheet, control plus page up, previous sheet. That, like for example, right now sheet number 1 is the active sheet. Control plus page down, sheet number 2 will become the active sheet. Then control plus page down, sheet number 2 is become the active sheet now, and control plus page up, sheet number 1 will display as the active sheet. So this way we can change, we can move from one place to another place. In the same way, if you are there in middle somewhere and you want to move to the first row, so you can press home button. Directly you will reach to the first cell of that particular row. Then control plus end, then last cell of the particular column. Now let first control plus end, first cell, and control plus home, end, only end, home. Control plus home is used for moving to the first cell of the worksheet. Wherever you are, directly you will reach to the first cell of the worksheet. Now let's move to the next topic, that is the basics of entering data. There are 3 types of the things which we can enter in Excel, that is text, a value, it may be numeric value, date value or time, logical value, and formulas. Actually 4 types are there, that is they have changed of logical value also here. Text, value it may be numeric, date or time, then logical value, that is true or false, and formula that returns a value, logical value or a text value. Now so let me explain to you this. So that is the different types of the values which we may enter. Now for example, here I have written on sheet number 2, I'm coming for, I want to write something over here, like I want to write marks. marks. Now after this I want to enter some marks over here. Now here you will notice that the marks is left aligned and the number which I had entered over here is right aligned, because this word marks, that is, this is text value, and this 5 6 7, these are the numeric value. So numeric value is always right aligned in MS Excel and the text value is left aligned by default. Yes, but if you want to change the alignment, simple, by using the alignment buttons you can change the alignment. After this, the next is formula. Also we can use a formula that will be explained to you in the next chapter in detail. Now next move to the afterwards range. In Microsoft Excel, a range is a collection of the cells. A range can be 2 or more cells, and those cells do not necessarily have to be adjacent to each other. Means, now when we select 2 or more cells, then it is known as range. Now for example, here I have selected all these 4 cells, so now it is known as range. That is, I have selected 4 rows and 1 column over here, so that is the range. Now sometimes, now here the cells which I have selected, they are continuous, but sometimes we have to select non-continuous cell also. Now for example, one range is here, another range is here, one range is here, so that way also we can select. Now I will explain you how we have to do it. The selecting a range is very simple. That's simple. Just click in one of the cell, then bring the cursor in the middle, press the mouse left button and start dragging. Your cell will get selected. If you want to select continuous cell, then this is the way. If you want to select non-continuous cell, then hold down the control key and select the other ranges. So in this way you may select non-continuous ranges. Now first range is here. After this, hold down the control key. Second range is here. Third range is here. In this way these ranges may be selected. Now the next topic is naming a range. Naming a range means when we have to do some calculation, then we have to give the cell address. Now I take this example. Now for example, I want to add these marks. So the one of the method is give some value and then give the addresses of these cells. Okay, that is from cell A2 to A4. For giving the range, we have to give the first cell address, then colon sign in between and the last cell address. I want to add the values from A2, not the A1, because A1 text is written. From A2 to A4. This is one of the way. Now the second method is there, that is okay, first let me do it for you. First, equal sign, sum, then put a bracket sign, then select these range. You know it, all the such things you are doing it from very lower classes, and then bracket close and press the enter key and the result will be shown to you. Now if you want to give the name to this range, then select the cell to which you want to name. Then come to the name box and give a name to this. So for example, I am giving the name as marks. Means the name of these particular cell is marks. Press the enter key. Okay. Now here equal sign I have given, sum, bracket sign, the name of the range. Here I am writing. Maybe you have noticed, as I have written marks over here, automatically these cells get selected. Means I am going to add a bit, and as the enter key is pressed, these marks will be the result. These numbers will be added up and the answer will be shown you over here. So this is also one of the way to use the name box. Now here you can see, you just concentrate on this formula bar. Here I have given the formula for adding the numbers, and here I have used the name of the range. Now the next is changing and deleting range name. If you want to change the name of the range, that is also possible. Then we can change the name of the range. Either directly from this name box it can be done, or we can change it from the group also. Now, so with the help of this group, we can change the name of the range. Now here it is given name manager. In the formula group, define name. Okay, just click over here, define name, apply name options are presented. Name manager, then here it is specified. If you want to delete it, you can delete it from here. Again, I will explain you how we have to do it. If you want to manage this, you want to change the name of the range, you want to give some other name, or you want to delete it, then name manager in the formula tab, then and in define names group, click over here. Then if you want to delete it, just simply select the option delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes, and then close. Then the value will be deleted. Now here it is giving you an error message because here I have written marks, but there is no range name as marks, therefore this error is coming over here. So this way we can give a name with the help of the define name, and we can manage it, or we can edit it with the help of name manager. Now next is going to a range. If you want to go to any range, then simply come to the name box and type its name. So this way you can directly reach. Now for example, I have undo it, so again my answer is coming. Now here, this is this active cell right now, I7. I have come over here, click on the down-headed arrow and select the option marks. Okay, so I directly reaches to this particular range which name I have selected over here. This way we can directly go to a particular range. After this, the next is creating a new Excel workbook. Therefore, creating a new workbook, click at the create. Then we can create a blank workbook, or we can create a from templates. That I will also explain you how we can do it. Now for doing this, for example, this workbook is already open and name is here, some work I did in it. Now I want to create a new file. So click at the file menu, then select the option new. As we click on new, then many options get appear on the screen. There's a given there's an option for blank workbook. If you want a blank workbook, then click over here, and then automatically a blank workbook will display on the screen. So here now you can see the title of this is book 2. Okay, now the second method, the second way is for creating from templates. Now click at the new option. Now here you will see that different options are given here, which type of the workbook we want to create, like personal, monthly budget, sales report, and that blood pressure tracker. Many options are here. Now which type of the file of workbook you want to create. Now one more is here, that is currency converter. So I'm just want to create it, then select it, and automatically it will create it. Now here you can give any amount, any currency, you can select to which currency you want to change, and automatically it will be displayed. So in this way we can create. The next topic we are having now is saving a workbook. By using save as command, by using save button, and by using save as PDF. So first, for save, by saving save as command, click at the file menu, select the option save as. Then where we want to save, now for example computer, I want to save in computer itself. Then select the place where we want to save it. Then by default the name of the book is book 1. If you want to change it, change the name of it, and click on the save button. Okay, this way your file will save. Or you can take the help of the save button also. On the quick access toolbar, save button is given. Click on the save button. Same options will be displayed to you. If you are saving your file first time, select the place where you want to save your file, then type a file name, and your file will be saved. Now one more thing is here, that is if you want to save your file as PDF, then how you have to do it. Now for example, I have created an Excel file, but I want to save it as a PDF file. Then click on, there's an option save as type. Bring the cursor on it and change the type. Now there's an option given PDF. Select the option PDF. Okay, now in PDF, when we select the option PDF, then options appear over here. Click on this options button. Now by default only one page will save as a PDF file. Now here you are having an option that either you want to save only one page of the worksheet, the current sheet will be saved, or you want, for example, you have 3 or 4 sheets in your workbook, then you want to save, by default it will save only active sheet as PDF. But if you want to save entire workbook or the selection, so accordingly you have to select the option. Again I'm repeating, by default Excel will save only active sheet as a PDF. But if you want to save the entire workbook, then you have to click on the button options. This options button will display only when you have selected save as type as PDF. Okay, so this way you have to select the option PDF, then click on the options button, select the option entire workbook, and then you will say click on the OK button, and then click on the save button. Then your file will save as PDF file. I hope all these topics will be clear to you. If you when it will be posted, and if you're having any doubt, then you can ask me. Along with this, I will post the question answer also, and then all the exercises. It is given in the PDF format, that is objective type questions is also there. I've just ticked the correct option and click the picture of from the book itself. True and false statements are here, fill in the blanks are there, then short questions, long questions also there. All the things are present in this file. So along with the chapter, question answers are also there for this chapter. Okay, this much for today. Thank you.